everybody, welcome to Previews Reviews, coming to you from Stadium Comics, located in Shoppers World Mall in beautiful Brampton, Ontario. Here are your hosts, Kevin Hickey and Ricky Lima.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of Previews Reviews, which looks at comics coming to stores starting in February 2013. I'm Kevin Hickey.
And I am Ricky Lima.
And Ricky, can you please tell the fine folks out there where this video is coming to them from? And let's start, you often leave out the Stadium Comics part. So let's start there.
We're in Stadium Comics in lovely Brampton, Ontario, Canada. The mustache hair in my sink.
Oh.
The heart of all things. The beautiful gem in the Infinity Gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
And the...
We can't say that. We can't say that part. But we are. We are that. That thing that Ricky just mentioned and I cut out of the video, we are that as well.
Exactly.
You'll have to ask him what that was all about. Previews is the magazine, which you can order all kinds of awesome pop culture product out of, including comics. Well, comics for the most part, actually. And we're going to be talking about a bunch of them today. There's a lot of good stuff coming our way starting in February 2013.
Exciting stuff.
If you want to have a look through this magazine, go into your local shop, ask them to go through it. They might even have some of these that they can sell to you. And let them know what you would like to see in your pull file come February 2013.
Because we're small shops, don't know what you guys want.
Yeah, if you want like some weird Adventure Time or something like that, something nobody would ever want.
Right? Who wants that?
Then you need to let your shop know so that they can order it in for you.
Everyone should want it.
Well, Ricky, I'm going to get it started today with a new comic from DC. And it is Justice League of America. The march toward Trinity War begins with part 1 of World's Most Dangerous. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Catwoman, Katana, Vibe, Hawkman, Stargirl. They aren't the world's greatest superheroes, they're the world's most dangerous. But why does a team like the JLA need to exist? What is their ultimate mission? And who is pulling the strings? Plus, find out why Martian Manhunter is the most dangerous of them all. Period.
You know, if a villain had the name Vibe and he was attacking me, I'd be worried.
Yeah.
I'd be worried. What does he even do?
He vibes, man. He just vibes.
Does he like dance?
No, you know, like when you go into a room and you just start vibing.
You just like,
yeah, you're like, man, I'm digging this vibe. That's all he does.
So then
he just goes into rooms and digs the vibe in there.
So, he's he a villain because he like sucks up the vibe?
No, he's a good guy.
Oh, he's a good guy.
He's on the Justice League of America.
And
actually, he also has his own miniseries that's starting in February as well, where he goes into all kinds of different people's rooms and just feels the vibe.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. Well, this, Ricky, is written by Jeff Johns and drawn by David Finch, so we know we're in for an awesome time as far as story and art goes. Those two guys are amazing. And the first arc is going to focus on the secret society of supervillains. Now, who is in that group? Who do you think is in that group?
Anti-vibe. He comes into rooms. He's like really awkward.
And he harshes everybody's buzz?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. DC, I hope you're taking notes. And this book also has a very Justice Society of America feel to it. I know you've probably never read any of the Jeff Johns JSA stuff.
Not that cool.
But you know, it was him taking characters that were considered, you know, second or third class characters, or maybe characters that, you know, maybe their time had passed and they were better off left in the golden and silver ages, and taking them and really making them awesome again. So I'm hoping that's what he's going to do here with some of these characters. Stargirl's in it, and she was a big part of JSA, so we can expect that it very possibly will have that whole vibe to it.
And I mean,
if you want to,
it's totally American, and you know it's American because it's got how many variant covers?
It's got 53 total covers.
Crazy.
There is a variant cover for every state in the United States.
But they're not even like variant covers. They're the exact same thing, except for a small square that changes.
That's a variation in the cover, is it not? By the very definition, it is a variant cover.
That's so lame.
I know, but you know, like, it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of different covers that are available for this book, and I think it's getting way out of control with
Right.
all variants, and this is taking it to the extreme.
You can buy like a pack, right?
Yeah, if you want all 53 covers, you can buy a pack that's going to be $149.99, and that'll get you all 53 at like $2.80 something cents an issue, as opposed to I think it's a $3.99 cover price. Really, the different covers have no use to us up here in Canada.
That's true.
Probably no use to our UK viewers out there. But I mean, if you are living in the States and you happen to be in one of the states, it would be kind of cool to like have your state flag on your copy of Justice League of America. If I was a store in, say, New York State, I'd probably order a bunch of New York State variants to have as well. So that's it for Justice League of America. Also interesting to note, coming out in February as well is the conclusion of the Death of the Family series in the Batman books.
Exciting.
So we'll see what happens with the Joker and Batman. That'll be the end of it. All right, Ricky, on to you.
On to the Transformers Spotlight, Megatron. Megatron is back. Writer-artist Nick Roche takes us back to the last time Megatron returned, when he found his Decepticon forces in tatters under the control of Starscream. In this never-before-revealed tale, we learn exactly how Megatron reacted and how Starscream survived.
Interesting. We don't normally talk about Transformer releases on here.
What?
There's a special reason for that today.
Reason.
I'm about to make a big announcement, Ricky.
Oh, okay.
You ready for this? Can I get a drum roll? The Megatron Spotlight one-shot, which will be coming out in February 2013, will feature an exclusive Stadium Comics variant cover drawn by Alex Milne. And you won't be able to get this cover anywhere else. It's going to be exclusive to us. And as far as I know, we're the only retailer doing an exclusive cover for this.
Ooh.
So it is going to be very rare indeed.
Any idea what it's going to be on? Like what's on the cover?
Well, we've just seen some concept sketches from Alex as to what the cover's going to look like, and it's going to be awesome. It's of course going to feature Megatron. That's all I'm going to say now.
Is there boxes involved?
No, I don't think there's any boxes, but there's definitely some Stadium Comics elements involved, and
Nice.
let's just put it at that. And it's awesome. We've only ever had an exclusive cover once before, and it was the Amazing Spider-Man number 666 cover, which was an exclusive cover, but it was kind of like the Justice League thing, where you're taking the same art and everything and basically putting a logo in the middle. So there wasn't much to it, and about 150 other stores participated. This is just going to be all ours.
Nice.
It's going to be all Stadium, and we can assure you that we'll have some available to sell in store, and we'll have some available to folks online as well. And there'll be more details about that as we get closer to the release date, I guess. We're still in the very early stages. Everybody loves Megatron. We've got a lot of Transformers fans here in the Greater Toronto area, so we thought that this was a good fit. Plus, Alex is a very good friend of ours. So, all the planets aligned in making this happen.
Nice.
Keep your eyes and ears peeled for information on that.
I'm excited. I'm buying 3.
You better.
Ooh.
Better. We bought a Deep Sea. You need to buy at least one of these
man.
Megatron comics.
Twisting
We
my arm.
didn't even get a free Deep Sea. We had to buy one. Can you believe that?
Dude, ain't no free rides here. Ain't no free rides.
Moving on to Image Comics, we have Snapshot, issue number 1. Jake Dobson is your typical nerd. He works at the Near Mint Rhino comic book store in San Francisco. But when he finds a lost cell phone, he's horrified to discover it's full of snapshots of a murder victim. Suddenly, he finds himself hunted by a vengeful hitman who wants his phone back, and Jake in a body bag. And then things start to get really complicated. Don't miss the first ever creator-owned thriller from the team behind The Losers and Green Arrow Year 1. Did you take a look at some of the preview images for this?
Yeah, it looks really good.
I love the art in this. Jock is the artist. Andy Diggle's the writer, of course. And Jock is amazing. He got his first I think he started on 2000 AD comics because he's British. But he got his first big breakthrough in North America when he did The Losers. which was an awesome story that got adapted into a movie that ended up looking nothing like his artwork. But he also did the awesome Joker cover.
Yeah.
And did a lot of the art for that last arc of Detective Comics right before the relaunch. That Joker cover where it's like bats everywhere that's making his face. Really, really awesome stuff. And he's also done a bunch of posters for Mondo, which is a company that I'm very much addicted to.
I really hope that they don't go like over with that stereotypical nerd thing. Because as you know, Big Bang Theory, I'm a little iffy on. And this nerd thing, if he's like, oh, what would Spider-Man do? And then like do something stupid.
From the art, he doesn't seem to look like that stereotypical nerd. Good. Right?
I agree. It looks very gritty. It looks very real.
Now you have a funny. Speaking of Big Bang Theory and like typical nerds and stuff, you have a funny story about Big Bang Theory and something you were just telling me tonight. What was that all about?
These old people came in. You obviously only watch Big Bang Theory, and they come in. They're like, "Is Sheldon here? Whoa!" And I'm like,
Did you just want to punch them in the face?
Yeah, for the most part.
I'm glad you didn't, because then we would have like all kinds of insurance issues and stuff like that.
It's true.
So were they like, "Oh, this is everything that I thought it would be"?
Yeah, and then they're like, "Do you go to Comic-Cons?" And I'm like, "Yes." And they're like,
do you ever dress up?
And I'm like, "No." And they're like,
"Where's Captain Sweatpants?"
Is that a thing?
Yeah, Captain Sweatpants, man. Look him up. He's a regular at the comic shop in Big Bang Theory.
I see.
Yeah, not stereotypical at all. But I'm going to be buying this book because it puts the comic shop employee in the spotlight where they rightly belong, right here.
Yeah, it's
Don't
true.
you agree?
I agree.
Exactly.
That's
what this show's all about.
That's right.
On to you, sir.
We have Nova, #1. The Human Rocket returns. You followed him through the history-making and changing AVX, and now the mystery of the all-new Nova are revealed in this breathtaking, new, ongoing, by the best-selling, award-winning team of Jeff Loeb and Ed McGuinness. Sam Alexander is a kid bound by the gravity of a small town, and a father whose ridiculous, drunken fairy tales about a Nova Corps were just another heavy burden in a life full of them. But luckily for Sam Alexander, soon gravity won't even matter, and those troubles, it's like they're a billion miles away. Yeah.
Nova. They're putting a big push on this.
It's a little weird, but I read the .1 and I was like, this is awesome. So
yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
It's exciting for us as comic retailers as well, because Nova's always kind of been like a lame duck on the shelves. Like nobody buys Nova. I mean, come on. Maybe like years ago they did, but certainly in the last 5 years or so, nobody's been like beating down the door saying, "Oh man, we need a new Nova comic."
Well, here we are.
And anytime there has been Nova in comics, it's been the sales have been less than stellar.
Yeah, it seems like Nova's really been getting a push lately. Like he was in Marvel's Capcom 3, and I was like, Nova, what?
And he's also in the new Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. I believe.
Yeah?
Yeah, they've made him a character in there. So they're really trying to...
They're making a Guardians of the Galaxy movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So everything is moving towards, promoting that, that cosmic universe in Marvel and lifting it up and...
Personally, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I love the cosmic universe.
Me too. And this looks like a fresh new take on Nova. It's a new character. It's kind of like your, typical Marvel superhero beginning back in the days when Marvel was created. So it's like a young kid. He's got problems at home. He's not having the best life. Yeah. And, he comes from a troubled background. And all of a sudden he's got this power bestowed upon him. And how is he going to handle having that power? And with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. It kind of mirrors Spider-Man in a lot of different ways, actually. There's going to be lots of variants for this book as well. Lots of really good-looking variants from what I saw. Joe Quesada, Marcus Martin, who's a favorite of mine. He's done a lot of work on Daredevil in the last little while. And Joe Quesada is going to be doing a cover.
You know what they should do instead of releasing variants? They should just release prints.
Prints?
I mean, why do I need multiple copies of the same book? You know what I mean? If I'm just buying it for the cover, just give me a cover. I don't get it.
It's not the same, though. I know you don't get it, but...
I don't understand.
It's, there are customers who collect for the sake of collecting, and they like the options that variant covers provide
it's the
them.
same book. And you don't want to open it because it's worth so much money. And it's just like, why do I have this?
Different states of mind buying different things, you know? You'll have a lot of customers that they don't care if it's a first, second, third printing. They just want to be able to read the story. And then you have other customers that are completists and others that are collectors.
Yes.
And Ricky, as retailers, who are we to tell those people not to buy 20 copies of a book? I think that it's a little bit out of control, but if somebody comes in and wants to buy 20 covers, I'm not going to say no to them.
It's true. And I guess I do get it. I mean, a lot of my collection, if it's not first print, sometimes I'm like, But then if I'm really enjoying the series, I'll get it.
And recently, you made a purchase of a whole bunch of variant covers.
Whoa.
And didn't even bat an eye. In fact, you fought us tooth and nail for the ability to be able to buy those comics.
Let's not talk about that.
I'm talking about Bravest Warriors, issue number 1 here. Ricky just had to have all the covers for that.
That was a purchase that...
So you felt strongly enough about it that you wanted all the different covers.
That's true.
So there could be somebody out there who's like, man, I friggin' love Nova! And they want to buy all the Nova covers.
I apologize.
Thank you. Finally, we have Uncanny X-Men issue 1. The true flagship book of the X-Men returns. In the wake of the Phoenix, the world has changed and is torn on exactly what Cyclops and his team of X-Men are. Visionary revolutionaries or dangerous terrorists? Whatever the truth, Cyclops, Emma Frost, Magneto, and Magic are out in the world gathering up new mutants and redefining the name Uncanny X-Men.
So this follows Cyclops?
Yeah.
And like his team that he's built?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Now, did you expect there to be an Uncanny X-Men, when they announced earlier, I guess in the late summer, early fall, and they announced that Uncanny X-Men was ending? Did you think, well, they're probably just going to do a new one?
Yeah, I did. Because it was like the DC relaunch where you're like, oh, they'll obviously be like Batman Detective.
Well, it was a little confusing, I know, for some people out there, because when they said Uncanny X-Men was coming to an end, they were saying, well, Uncanny Avengers is going to be the new flagship title. So I think they led a lot of people to believe that the two books that you would be able to see X-Men in, the two flagship books, would be Uncanny Avengers and All New X-Men. But now here they're saying, well, now, Uncanny X-Men's back. Mm-hmm. Right, now you have a third book.
But I don't know if they can really...
And it's all being released twice a month.
Oh, man.
It's crazy,
that's brutal.
Right?
On my wallet, it's brutal.
I know.
But I don't know if they could really call this X-Men. Like, I mean, if Cyclops doing his own thing with, like, Magneto and Emma Frost, I don't know if they're worthy of the X-Men title.
Well, and you bring up a good point, because a lot of people have been talking about Magneto, and he's been with the X-Men for a while now. Is he truly reformed? Has he adopted all the philosophies of the X-Men? Or can we expect him to at some point go back to his Brotherhood ways?
I don't think Magneto was ever really a bad guy. He was just misunderstood.
Misunderstood? Yeah. I kind of get that. Kind of like how Lex Luthor is misunderstood in a way.
For the most part.
But Lex Luthor then goes off and does a whole bunch of crazy stuff. But Brian Michael Bendis has said about Magneto that this story is going to establish a very bold new chapter for Magneto. So that's interesting. What do you think that means? Now, Ricky, it looks like we're going to see a lot of new mutant powers in this book, because the thing that Cyclops and Magneto are doing is they're going around and discovering the new mutants and bringing them into the fold.
Do you think there's going to be a lot of useless mutant powers?
I think so. What would be a useless mutant power to you?
I don't know. Maybe like the ability to see through like cardboard. Or like true X-ray vision, where he can see through everything, so he can't really.
Just doesn't see anything.
Yeah, he can't see nothing.
Yeah, like what do you do? Do you
like he can only see like lead objects?
What do they do with the mutants that don't really have any powers that they can use? Do they just abandon them, or do they take them into the fold as well?
I think so.
I think this needs to be addressed. Maybe it has been addressed at some point during X-Men history, but there's got to be some mutants with some really lame powers. Like, what if there's a guy that he has the power to control things with his mind, but the only thing that he's able to control are like his own shoelaces. So like he can tie his own shoelaces.
Yeah. Or like someone who can run abnormally fast, so it's like slightly faster than the average man.
Yeah, just a little bit faster.
It's like Usain Bolt.
I don't know. What do you do with those people that don't have that extraordinary power? You just have a little more than ordinary.
One guy can get slightly hotter.
This is a comic book idea that they should explore.
Well, there's the Mystery Men. That was.
Yeah, but they just didn't have any powers, right?
Yeah, that's true. Except the guy who turned invisible. He can turn invisible when no one's looking at him.
Right. That's pretty badass power.
It's pretty sweet.
There's lots of variants available for this book as well, so be on the lookout for that. All kinds of blanks, all kinds of different.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Scott Young covers.
Probably.
Yeah.
Scotty Young should change from doing baby covers to doing senior citizen covers. Just like a bunch of like 80, 90-year-old X-Men.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. People like hooked up to IVs and stuff. Some in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Some in adult diapers.
I'd buy that.
You know? I think that'd be different. Also coming out from Marvel in the month of February, it doesn't just stop with Nova and X-Men, but we also have Secret Avengers #1 and Fearless Defenders #1 and also the Alpha miniseries. So Alpha is getting his own miniseries from Spider-Man.
It's alright, I guess.
We also have some honorable mentions this month, Ricky. These are books that are also coming out that are worth a look, but that we just didn't have enough time to cover today. First is Ravine, Volume 1 from Top Cow. This is an epic 128-page fantasy story written and beautifully illustrated by Stepan Sajic. And it's got wizards and dragons and all kinds of really rad stuff. Did you take a look at this at all?
I took a brief look. It looked pretty
Looks
wicked.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's
It's what,
really
like only
good.
like $10?
It's $9.99. Yeah, you can't go wrong. 128 pages. Looks amazing.
We know what else is coming out. Kill Shakespeare. What is it called? The Tide of Blood, #1.
Yeah, that looks
Canadian
good
boys. Anthony and Connor.
Yeah,
Met
Connor
them.
McCreary, Anthony Delcole,
And Andy Belanger, who
Yep.
I've worked with in The Black Church.
right?
Someone won that song, so it's some Stadium Comics history there.
Yes, Ricky composed a song
Yeah.
for Andy Belanger's Black Church
That's right.
mini comic.
And this one's featuring one of my favorite characters, Prospero from The Tempest.
Yes, he's going to be the main villain in the series.
Though casting him as a villain's a little weird, but Kill Shakespeare's a little weird, so
Hey man, it takes Shakespeare and just
that's true. Just
kills
fucks with it.
Yeah. And then the other book that's coming out is Uncanny Skullkickers, and that's an Image Comics book, and it's written by Canadian Jim Zub and drawn by Edwin Huang. And I like this book just based on the tagline alone. It says, "We figured out what our series was missing, adjectives."
Nice.
Because, of course, Skullkicker's been around for a little while, but now it's Uncanny Skullkickers. And coincidentally, Uncanny X-Men comes out in February as well. If they're smart, they'll make the release date the exact same. And they've even hinted at this in the advertising copy of this book, where they've said, "P.S. retailers, rack this comic beside other Uncanny comics you may have hanging around and sell a ton of copies. Do it."
Nice.
So,
I'm cool with that.
some creative marketing from the Skullkickers gang.
Mr. Zub.
Well, that does wrap it up for our look at comics coming out in February 2013. Hope you all enjoyed it. Get out to your shop today and let them know what kind of books you'd be looking for in your local shop in February 2013. Take care, everyone, and join us all next time when we take a look at statues, toys, collectibles, all that cool stuff coming into stores starting in February 2013, but probably extending way into
That's usually what happens.
the spring and summer. So, see you all next time. Thanks, everyone.